What happened to the bodies of Hussein, Ceausescu, and Gaddafi? Brutal dictator often end up killed by their own people. But what happens then? 1. Saddam Hussein's body had to be moved. Saddam Hussein's brutal reign in Iraq lasted for 24 years. Over this time, 250,000 Iraqis were arbitrarily killed. Hussein also began 2 wars against Kuwait and Iran. In 2003, the US invaded Iraq to remove Hussein from power. He fled but was captured after 8 months. Dragged from a hole in the ground, the former dictator was arrested. He was charged with crimes against humanity. The Iraqi Special Tribunal found him guilty. Hussein was executed on December 30, 2006. His body was buried in his family mausoleum in Aujah. But everyone was worried about vandalism. So in 2014, the body was moved to a secret location. This proved a timely decision. The mausoleum was destroyed by Shiite militants soon afterward. 2. Nicolae Ceausescu's burial caused a controversy. Ceausescu ruled Romania for 24 years. His leadership was disastrous. Ceausescu drove the country to the brink of bankruptcy. Yet he tried to preserve hard-line communist policies until the end. In the 1980s, the Soviet Union was changing fast. Mikhail Gorbachev introduced a number of reforms. Ceausescu immediately distanced himself from Moscow. He outlawed abortions and contraception. He threatened to demolish villages with populations under 2,000. All this was supposed to boost the flagging economy. Instead, Romania erupted in protests. In 1987, rebels ransacked the Communist Party HQ in Brasov. By 1989, unrest had swept over the entire country. Ceausescu organized a rally of 100,000 people in Timișoara. This was supposed to reassure loyal Romanians. But the plan backfired. The people started booing during Ceausescu's speech. The army opened fire, and the regime was doomed. The next day, the army changed sides. Ceausescu and his wife Ellen were arrested while trying to flee. They were quickly tried and executed on December 25, 1989. The execution was shown on Romanian TV. But for years, their surviving relatives had doubts. They said the bodies in the graves were not that of Nicolae and Elena Ceausescu. In 2010, a judge ordered the bodies exhumed. A DNA test proved that they were indeed the Ceausescus. The bodies were reburied. 3. Gaddafi's body was kept in a meat freezer. Gaddafi ruled Libya for almost 40 years. His reign was marked by numerous human rights abuses. Gaddafi backed all kinds of terrorists around the world. At home, he burned books and broadcast hangings on TV. In 2011, the country was engulfed by a civil war. After NATO intervened, Gaddafi was forced to flee. On October 20, 2011, he was captured by insurgents. They beat him up and then shot him. The wounded ex-dictator was placed in an ambulance. It's not clear what happened then, but he died on the way to the hospital. His body was put on a dirty mattress inside a meat freezer. Hundreds of Libyans flocked to see it. The smell of decay was so bad, guards handed out surgical masks. Gaddafi's family wanted to bury him in Sirte, but their request was denied. 4 days later, Gaddafi was buried in a secret location in the desert.